Hello, I'm Headley, another fat bearded man talking about records, and this is the second part of the collection that I got given last weekend by a lovely lady who was very, very, very generous to give these to me. Now, as I said in my previous video, she worked for Rough Trade, which meant she had loads of promos and various stuff like that. I've done the video, and the first part is all about the soul records she had, which must have been from a sort of personal collection rather than stuff that she got free through her job. But these will be stuff that clearly she picked up probably as part of her job in the music industry. So first off, so this is going to be sort of indie, 80s indie. So that's indie rock sort of stuff. So first up, Smiths, is that their debut album? Yeah. So this is the first pressing. We also had This Charming Man. This is a shot from Orphée, isn't it? What's his name? Is it Jean-Luc Godard? No. Anyway, I'm trying to be fancy, aren't I, and say where I know it comes from. So yeah, we've got one of those. This is just the original 12-inch. Then there is a remix version as well, which I like this one because on the B side, it's an instrumental, which is how I like to listen to my Smiths. Then we've got What Difference Does It Make? 12-inch. Heaven Knows I'm Miserable Now. That's that woman from what's it called? Spend. Viv Nichols, isn't it? Nicholson. Yeah. I mean, yeah, they're great covers, aren't they? I mean, you can't really complain. Anyway, so that's the Smiths. We all know about that. So, but there were some really other interesting things that some of the stuff I'd heard of, some things I hadn't heard of. But I'm glad I have because I think they sound great. We've got 23 Skidoo. That's just a 12-inch. Yeah, and that's sort of interesting kind of. Oh, yeah, I need to put an inner sleeve in this one. I don't really know much about these bands. So please tell me about 23 Skidoo. I don't really know much about it. It's a great name, isn't it, for a band? Then we've got Cabaret Voltaire. This is a double sort of single thing. I don't know what the tracks are called. Let's have a look. So Breathe Deeply, Breathe Deep, Protection, War of Nerves. Yeah. So Cabaret Voltaire. I mean, Cabaret Voltaire, for those of you who don't know, was the club in Zurich, in Switzerland, where the Dadaist movement first started. Now, having known that, unfortunately, I don't find the Cabaret Voltaire very Dadaist, but hey.
Stop right there. Hi, this is Future Headley speaking. Now, I've listened more thoroughly to the Cabaret Voltaire EP, and I'd like to revise my statement about the band not sounding Dadaist. Now, my previous exposure to Cabaret Voltaire was through their later albums, perhaps best described as industrial synth-pop. But the tracks on this EP utilise a sound collage approach, tape loops and the like. And this was very much a device used by the Dadaists in their art. But, and here's the caveat, Cabaret Voltaire are a bit po-faced, and they don't really explore the whimsical absurdity which the irreverent Dadaists utilised. Anyway, art lesson over. See what you think.
Now people lost their lives concentration. There's blood out there.
Then we got the Plain Jane. Now this is their album Five Good Evils, and these were a kind of slightly psych rock kind of stuff. So this is from '85. Yeah, they're okay. You can see kind of, I mean, they're interesting, but you can see kind of why they didn't really go that far. So there was, if you haven't got one copy, 2 copies of that will do. The Plain Jane, and a 12-inch as well. Good picture on the back. That's great, isn't it? Now this band, I think are great. I'd heard of them. This is Red Guitars. This is their album Slow to Fade. What's the date of it? Does it tell me? It's going to be at 84 or something. Ah, yes, 84. Hey. These guys are from Hull. I'm only about 30 miles from Hull, where I am here. This sounds great. This is kind of that jangly kind of indie rock from the early 80s. But what they've added to it is a bit of sort of a slight kind of African twist. So I think at the time King Sunny Ade was getting big, and so a lot of the bands were starting to put some of that stuff into their music. And I think it works really well. I mean, it's the sort of thing I suppose Talking Heads would do as well. But yeah, really lovely. I really like that. That's a good discovery. And there's also a Red Guitars 12-inch as well. So I haven't listened to the 12-inch yet.
I can't take what you don't offer, oh no. I don't really, but you don't suffer. I can't take what you don't offer. Don't believe that you don't suffer. Must have lost the thread of things and lost your chance to cut the strings. And if you asked, I'd swing for you. Remote control.
Then, people might know this band. This is the Go-Betweens. This is before Hollywood. I think it's their second album from '82. Yeah, I mean, I think this has got Cattle and Cane, which is their probably most well-known song. I think I first heard it done by the Wedding Present on one of their Hit Parade B-sides. But yeah, I mean, obviously Grant McLennan, Robert Forster, and Lindy Morrison. Yeah, that sort of Australian. I mean, it's that indie stuff, but they bring us something different to it. If you listen to something like Cattle and Cane, it's got a really interesting. No one else was making music quite like they were at the time, so that's really lovely to get hold of that copy. Also got, I think this is their next album, so their third album, the Spring Hill Fair. They're a 4-piece by the time you get to this one. And this one is called Liberty Bell and the Black Diamond Express. Now, this is one of the only ones that's got a bit of dodgy spotting on it. But yeah, another great to have that. Yeah, and it's not very great down the bottom either. But you can't have everything, can you? Yeah, really good band. Really nice to sort of delve into their music.
Coming home through fields of cane to a house of tin and timber, and in the sky a rain of falling cinders. From time to time the waste, memory wastes. I recall a boy in bigger pants, like everyone, just waiting for a chance. His father's watch, he left it in the shop.
A 12-inch by the High Bees. I've looked on Discogs. This was their only release. Yeah, it's kind of what you expect to fit in with this sort of stuff. Indie pop stuff. It's not bad.
Fury with those eyes that never lie, shows me a future I did not deny. Everything from her head down to her thigh, revealed for an instant a never-ending sky.
There was an Aztec camera 12-inch, Oblivious, not Oblivion. Yeah. A couple of last ones before I call this second part to a close, and these are both Dutch bands. Hey, why they've got Dutch? She had Dutch bands in her collection. I've no idea. So the first one, I'm going to start with this, which is Gangway, and it's an album called The Twist. Yeah, so Dutch indie pop rock kind of stuff. Fits in with all the other bands we've been showing, really. Sounds like that. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not, I mean, it's not going to blow your socks off, but it's, if you like that type of music, yeah, Gangway might be up your gangway. Now, finally, and this is a real discovery. I'd never heard of this band, partly because they're Dutch, I suppose. I don't know how much success later on they had, but this is an album from 1978 by The Nits, and it's called Tent. This is apparently, I think it's their second album, and this is brilliant. It really is. I'm really into this. It's a kind of a new wave pop with elements of, I suppose, if you think of, put together XTC, Devo and Elvis Costello, and you might have something a bit like The Nits. Apparently later on, so yeah, I said 78, and this is on CBS. Yeah, apparently later on they went a bit sort of progressive jazz rock. It all ends horribly, doesn't it, for bands? They just can't. I mean, either you break up or you turn into a progressive jazz rock band, and we don't. No one wants that to happen. Anyway, but until that period of their career, which, to all intents and purposes, was far more successful, you know, and liked by mechanics called Terry, you know, that type of music. Anyway, this isn't. This is music liked by me, another fat bearded man talking about records. It has my seal of approval. But yeah, great stuff. So there we go. That was the indie rock section. The next one will be a bit of a miscellaneous and should wipe up what's left. But yeah, once again, thank you for watching. I'm going to leave you with a bit of the Nits.
Hands up, he said. If you move a little bit, you're dead. Now what's the secret that you were about to get? Tonight, they win. I'm in a cellar and I have to stay in. I'll have to write a song, whether it's right or wrong. Here comes the young reporter in his overcoat. I'm on the tape recorder in his motorboat. Is he coming in time for me?